Good afternoon. This is Isaac, and I'm here with Reggie. I've known Reggie for quite a while. He's a professional speaker, author, mentor, and quite an individual. I've had the pleasure of working with him. He's been quite an inspiration in my life. He's been able to guide me through some barriers that I've personally had. My parents went through quite an ugly divorce. My father is a very prominent, very wealthy businessman. And Reggie's been able to help me through some barriers, and I want to thank him for that. So I'm here just to quickly introduce him and let him know that I thank him for the services. I know he's been through quite some challenges for himself, and I wanted to say thank you to him and just give a quick introduction to him. Thank you, Reggie.
Thank you, Isaac. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking your time to help me out and make this video so other people can share the experience with you and me as well. Before becoming a trainer and a coach, coupling my life's experience together, I spent 35 years in the building industry, which I call myself a master builder and a life architect now. I've spent the past 5 years focused on using my life's experience and combining it together, creating methodologies and a way to help people overcome their challenges that are deeply embedded in their bodies and their minds at a neurological level that they just can't rid themselves of things like shame, fear, and guilt, which is holding them back from becoming a better themselves and living a more fulfilled life that they perceive themselves to having, and it's like a plague all over the world right now. And one of the things about me is I'm focusing on people that have had to go through things like suicide, extreme divorce, bankruptcy, foreclosure, or just completely losing everything and starting over, which has happened to me 3 times plus. Being a child, that I suffered the outcome of watching my father commit suicide when I was 5 years old. He shot himself in the heart with an automatic handgun. And that's actually followed me around my whole life with all the relationships that I'm in. And I've developed something that helps people through training from other professionals and stuff. I've helped take my skills that I've acquired through overcoming all these challenges multiple times over and over again, where most people would think I should be dead by now, and I've overcome this stuff and turned it into something to monetize it to be something where I can go out and give back to the world, changing the dynamics of how people think. And the biggest area right now that I'm completely blown away about is the statistics of our military personnel. They're freaking coming home and killing themselves at a rate now at 25 people a day. They're just taking their lives, and this is crazy. And myself being a byproduct of watching that happen, there's just no need for this. And they're being diagnosed as having extreme PTSD and, hang on a sec, it's PTSD and bipolar disorders and stuff. And they're being injected full of medications and pharmacologies and stuff that just have no value to them and stuff, And so what I've noticed is that, I'm an ex-Marine Corps veteran myself, and there's no reason for me to sit back with my experiences that I have in life and not manifest them into something that people can use. And, bipolar disorders, meaning someone can't see through both sides, they're living in a one-sided world. That's nonsense. They can actually break through barriers through emotional baggage, which I call the scars of the mind's eye, which we keep up here in our heads. And I've got a program that I want to introduce to everybody that it has a value of $29.97, and if you had tools that could help you break free from just deep emotional scars that are very deep within your body and your chest, would you like to have something like that? And I see by the audience, you have your hands up. Yes, you could use something like this. We all could. I went through it too, but I had to bury it I didn't have to, I just didn't know how to process the information through me. And it's a process of getting into your own heart and your mind and seeing what was out there, what you went to that was just an event. And those events are what created who you are and brought you to this point in your life where you're ready to face your truths, you're ready to face your challenges and go and break through your own emotional garbage that's holding you back. And trust me, going through multiple wives, I thank every one of them for that. However, that's not my ultimate dream. You know, my ultimate dream is to settle down and have a family, something I don't have. You know, I lost all that stuff being a child. As I grew up, I watched everybody die off. And now I'm here to bring this to life for people. So if you have a tool like that, what would that be worth to you? I mean, it's immeasurable. You can't even measure the value of something like that. You know, and to bring that to society, bring that back to people, especially our military. There's no reason for them to go through this. You know, we're pumping them full of all these, you know, narcotics and drugs, just keeping them in that frame of mind. And they're coming back, they're not able to process what they're seeing and doing. All they're seeing is death and war. They're taking their own lives just like that. It's stupid. And they need to have someone out there like me to help them overcome and see these challenges as to being gifts to better their lives. Because I know what it's like to have a parent leave your family and child behind, and that's not good. It sent our family, or my mom and a few siblings who are no longer here. And my mom also died of self-inflicted intoxication through drugs and all that, and basically committed her own suicide at a very young age. And there's no reason for people to suffer like this when we have actual methodologies and sciences that help people break through and see that these events physically embetter them. They actually can improve their lives. And it's how you label things in your mind. And when you're labeling things like this, you're giving it a value. And that's the other core root of what I'm presenting here for you guys, is that it's determining your values. That's the concrete foundation of where we start at, is determining what's most important to you. What do you value the most? What do you think is most missing in your life? Once we find out for that, then we can start chunking it down and breaking it down and getting all the way down to the bottom on what that source of emotion that's causing you to freeze up, causing you to be in fear and pain and have guilt of the past, from injected values from you that were outside injections that you've, since you were born. I mean, this stuff starts at birth, and now science has proven it to go back even further than that with, you know, the fact that you're the product or the byproduct of your parents' disowned parts. And what that means is you are the part that your parents don't own about themselves, that they never accepted to be who they are, and it comes out in you, and that's what creates the explosion in the family dynamic syndrome, you know, the fighting and the arguing, because no one is on page with each other. When you were born, you came out with your own set of values, and they were created the way you record the information as you going through, you know, puberty through 5 years old and stuff. And once you get to this point in life, that becomes your default programming. So if you labeled something, you know, good or bad or indifferent, which gave it a positive or a negative charge, such as, you know, bipolar disorders, you know, where you're trying to separate the inseparables, which is a positive and negative. You can't do it. It's not possible. You know, and science has proven this over and over again. So, with that also being said, you know, I want to grab some notes here, a little more on my own self stuff. I want to let you know that throughout of all of this stuff, I didn't go to high school, I didn't go to college to get up here, I didn't stand in the limelight of anything, being bankrupted multiple times and through the divorces and stuff. Those were the byproducts of me not having proper parenting, mentoring, and growing up basically alone in a